Hello children, I am Radhika working as bio teacher at ZPHS Jeedimetla. Today we are going to learn about our 11th lesson, why do we fall ill? Children, do you ever feel ill? Sick? Yes, we all do. We bunk school because we are ill. Let's see what are the reasons for our illness and also learn how to prevent it. Firstly, we should learn about health. How do you define health? World Health Organization has given a proper definition for health. Health is therefore a state of being well enough to function physically, mentally and socially with optimum efficiency. We should be alright in doing our physical tasks, the state of mind and the way we mingle with other people in the society. There are four factors influence the health. Factors that influence health are nutritious food, education, economic condition. Our economic condition should be good to afford good food and live happily in society. Nutrition food plays important role as it provides us energy and it gives us an immune system and it avoids diseases also. Education is very important to aware of diseases and to gain good condition. What do we mean by disease? Disease. This word is very common word for us. Disturbed ease. We hear this word very often. Disease means disturbed easy. If a person is not normal and feels uncomfortable, he is said to have disease. Both physical and mentally a person should be normal. If a person suffers from stomach pain, he is not normal physically. In the same way, if a person feels anxiety, depression, he is not good mentally. Diseases. There are two types of diseases, acute diseases and chronic diseases. This categorization is based upon the time period of the diseases in person. Let us see the diseases. First one, acute diseases. This type of diseases last for only short period of time. These types of diseases are cured by proper medication. The examples for these types of diseases are stomach pain, fever, bone fractures, headache, etc. are examples. Children, you remember one thing, if you neglect these type of acute diseases, it leads to chronic diseases or long-term diseases. So, we should treat these type of diseases as early as possible and consult doctor immediately. And second one is chronic diseases. This type of diseases last for lifetime once affected to the person. Regular medication is needed under supervision of doctor. Examples for these long time diseases are blood pressure, elephantiasis, sugar, etc. Infectious diseases. Infectious diseases are caused by pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, parasites or fungi. The diseases can be spread directly or indirectly from one person to another. Children, nowadays we are wearing mask. Why? You know the reason. Because of coronavirus, we should wear mask. This is also comes under this type of infectious diseases. So we should wear mask and we should maintain physical distance between one person to another persons. And how the infectious diseases can spread one person to another person, let's see the video.
In the first part of this video, you should already know that pathogens are disease-causing microorganisms. So how are pathogens spread? They can spread in many ways, by direct contact, by water, or by air. Different pathogens are spread by different mechanisms. So, malaria is transmitted by mosquitoes, whereas cholera is a waterborne disease. HIV is transmitted through bodily fluids, and athlete's foot is transmitted by direct contact. How can transmission be reduced or prevented? Depending upon which disease you are trying to reduce transmission for, depends upon which method you need to engage. Simple hygiene measures can reduce or prevent the spread of many diseases, including flu and the common cold. Make sure you wash your hands properly, keep common surfaces clean, and use a tissue to sneeze into. Did you know there is a best way to wash your hands? Hands washed thoroughly with soap have significantly reduced numbers of bacteria. Over 350,000 people die every year from food poisoning, which can be prevented by washing hands and utensils properly with clean water and cooking foods to a safe temperature to kill the bacterial pathogens. To reduce or prevent cholera and other diarrheal-causing pathogens, communities need access to safe drinking water, adequate sanitation so that dirty water is not exposed, and basic hygiene needs such as washing hands properly, boiling water properly, and keeping surfaces clean. Malaria and yellow fever both have mosquitoes as a vector, and Lyme disease uses ticks. A vector is an organism that has an active role in transmitting pathogens from one host to another. To reduce or prevent infection from vector-borne diseases, the vectors need to be controlled, or humans need to protect themselves against the vector, such as wearing mosquito repellent and wearing long-sleeve clothing. Insecticide and spraying techniques can be used to reduce the population of the vectors, but this is trickier and more expensive. If a disease is highly contagious, such as rabies, people may need to be isolated to prevent the infection spreading to others. Vaccinations are also an option for preventing and reducing pathogens. Vaccinations involve putting a small amount of inactive or dead pathogens into the body, which stimulates the body to produce antibodies against a specific pathogen. This enables the body to be prepared to attack or destroy the pathogen if they are infected in the future. You can learn more about vaccinations in our What are Vaccinations video.
Children, I hope you understood the video about infectious diseases. Now, non-infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases are generally caused by combination of genetic and environmental factors other than pathogens. Examples for these type of diseases: asthma, cataracts, chronic kidney disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, heart diseases. These are the examples for non-infectious diseases. Children, in next session, we'll learn more about transmitted disease and preventive methods of diseases.